Hi guys, it's the AFL Yank back here again in time for another AFL tipping video for the 2022 season. Only 2 more weeks to go until a premiership, a premier is officially crowned a champion, until a team is crowned a champion as the AFL Grand Final nears. And approaching now, we are heading to the preliminary finals. So quick look back to the first 2 weeks. Geelong beat the Pies in a very close thriller. Freo ended up coming back by a massive margin against the Western Bulldogs. The Lions win an incredibly shocking game against Richmond, and the Swans upset the D's. Then Collingwood ends up beating Then the Pies end up beating Freo by 20 points. And last week, the D's end up going out in straight sets as the Brisbane Lions have a massive upset win and win at the MCG for the first time in 8 years. And now we are heading to the preliminary finals. The Geelong Cats versus the Brisbane Lions, which will be hosted on Friday night. This game will definitely, in my opinion, be very, very intimidating. This could definitely go either way, if the Lions keep up the pressure that they've been having these past few weeks. It's really possible It's really possible that they could upset the Cats, but with it being at the MCG, it is going to be a bit difficult for the Lions to have consecutive wins at the MCG. So, unfortunately, I'm going to go with the Geelong Cats. I'm going with the Geelong Cats to punch their ticket to the AFL Grand Final and have a shot at winning the flag. And then for the second preliminary final, which will be hosted at the SCG, I know I'm going to get a bit biased here, but I am so hoping the Swannies. I am going with the Swannies to win this game, as it's basically been automatically already projected due to the initial flag prediction I had a while back. But yeah, I think the Swans will dominate the Pies at the SCG. Just the ground clearance. Just the clearance is not going to work for the Pies. I think the Swans are going to be more mentally prepared. They've had a week off. Plenty of guts and grinding over those few weeks. And Collingwood could potentially give some good pressure, but I'm sorry. Even with their replications and stuff and how arrogant they get, I just still think the Swannies are going to be too strong for them. So, prediction for my grand final. So yeah, the grand final prediction is the same as it was weeks ago. I have the Cats versus the Swans in the grand final. It could potentially be Lions versus Swans too. But yeah, surprisingly, out of all the matchups, the only one that actually hasn't happened is the one that's likely going to happen: Swans versus Geelong versus the Swans, which has actually never been a grand final matchup. It was a prelim matchup in 2016 where the Swans obviously won that game, and But yeah, out of the 4 possibilities, Cats versus Swans is the one that's not happened. As the other grand final matchups actually did happen. Cats versus Pies faced each other Cats versus Pies, they faced each other, I believe, a couple times in the grand final. Not in recent years. Oh my god, I just forgot about 2011. The obviously Geelong versus Collingwood they faced in the 2011 grand final. Then the Lions versus Swans actually, of course, happened only once, and that was actually all the way back in 1899 when the Lions' origins as Fitzroy, and obviously the Swans when they were still in South Melbourne. And in that game, Fitzroy won the premiership by 1 point in a very low-scoring game in 1899. It was probably a very windy day. And finally, obviously, the Lions and Collingwood faced each other in 2002 and 2003, where the Lions won on both occasions. Yeah, regardless though, I'm gonna tip a Cats versus Swans grand final, and yeah. So just pretty much a quick video. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I honestly see the Swans absolutely dominating the Pies. I think just the Swans are gonna have a lot of control in that game. Like, it could be close. I mean, it could definitely be a close game, but just kind of linear. I'm hoping it's a blowout. But yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I am the AFL Yank, signing out. Swamp Flag 2022.